What's going on, everybody? Sick Eric back again with another video, and today we're going to be doing my 4 days with the iPhone 11. I've never used an iPhone before. This is my first, so I'm going to be just going over with the things I like, things I don't like. And this is the front-facing camera, 4K 60 frames per second. Let you guys see how this looks. The background, I think it looks really good. So yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around. What's going on there, YouTube? Sick Eric back again with another video, and today we are going to be doing my 4 days with the iPhone 11. Now, I've never used an iPhone before, and as you saw in my little intro, I'm definitely liking it. The cameras are really good on this phone, like really nice camera system on the iPhone 11. I shot my intro with the front-facing camera, 4K 60 frames per second. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Really good cameras on here. Video recording, 4K 60. It's 24, 30, and 60 recording. Of course, you got your 1080p as well. Front-facing camera as well, 4K recording. You also have slow motion on there. So with all of that, I'll show you guys some clips and some pictures as the video goes on. You'll see some pictures and stuff of this device. So let's go ahead and get started. I've been using this phone for about 4 days, give or take, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you I guess 10 reasons why I like it and 10 reasons why I don't like it. But the reasons I don't like it aren't very, serious. I'll live. Of course, I'm trying to be, this is my first iPhone. I never used one, so I'm not going to bash it saying Apple sucks or anything. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep it, I'm still open-minded about this device. So if you're thinking about switching from Android to iOS, you might want to consider the things I'm going to say. You probably already know them. But let's go ahead and jump down into it. So I made a little list over here of things I don't like. We'll go ahead and start off with that about the iPhone or iOS. If you're coming from Android, it definitely can be a pain setting up all your Apple ID and getting all your stuff to transfer over. So the first time you get an iPhone, you gotta create an Apple ID, go through the process, email, and verifying and all of that crap. Of course, if you get a new Android phone, you just log into Google and you are good to go. Contacts and everything, stuff like that is just all ready, set, and ready to go. But with iOS, you have to create everything. You got to use a different email address. For me, I used a different email address because I guess it was recognizing my old email address. Maybe when I had iTunes before for my iPod. But that's reason number one. It's a pain coming from Android to Apple. For me, it's not really a big deal because I've got two phones. I got the OnePlus 7 Pro and I'll have this one. So it's not a complete switch over. I still love Android, but I'm giving Apple a shot as well. So let me go ahead and mark that off my list. Another reason number two I don't like it is transferring music to an iPhone can be a pain in the butt. I have music on here. Let's see if I can find it. I've got music on my iPhone, but you have to use sorry, I'm still getting used to it. You have to use iTunes to transfer all your music to it, and then you got to sync it to the cloud if you want to get all your stuff on here, which, as you can see, I have all my music on my phone rather than sync to the cloud because I want to be able to listen to music without running up my data, or else I'd stream music all night at work, for 8 hours. It's just streaming music at very high quality does take up a lot of data, so I like to have some music on my phone. Therefore, I'll put actual, files onto my device, whether it's SD card or, onto the straight up phone, which, it's another thing, no SD card on this device, but it's got 128 gigabytes of storage. You should be alright. I got quite a bit of music on here. Still got plenty of rooms of storage on there. So yeah, transferring music on here using iTunes is kind of a pain in the butt. if you're looking to switch on over to iOS from Android. Check that off on a list. Another thing is you can't really sideload many apps. I guess you could sideload some apps on here, but it is definitely a process. Like say for instance, Instagram comes out with a new app that's has dark mode on it. It's not yet released yet, or something like that. Like Android does. You could sideload that app and install it onto your phone. Well, you can't really do that on iOS. Everything comes from the Apple Store or the App Store, and then you gotta download everything and update everything like that. Not really a huge deal breaker, but I thought I'd include it on there. Another reason is, let's see, how do I go back? You can't really customize the home launcher. Of course, that's a given. Everything is on your home screen. You can't really do icons. The dock, you could make it transparent. You can not make it transparent, whatnot. You can make this transparent. You went ahead and just did a solid color. But that's pretty much all you could do. You could move your icons around, but you can't separate your icons. They're all either at the top, coming down, and you can move them around, but I don't think there's any way of like or reorganizing them, alphabetically or anything like that. They're just sort of there on your home screen. Widgets, you don't really get any widgets. You get like a little widget panel over here on the side, which you can access that from your lock screen as well. All your widgets off to the side. If you swipe on over here, you got your camera, etc. But yeah, no customizing and no widgets, which is kind of a bummer on there. Another thing is no Google preloaded apps on here. So your Google Play, all your stuff Google aren't preloaded onto iOS. You can go to the App Store and download them, which I did right here. I did Google Play Music, Gmail, Drive, Google Keep, excuse me. I did all my Google apps and I uploaded them on here, that way I could be familiar, and still have all my Google apps on there. Not really a huge deal. You could still download them, so no biggie there. Another thing is lightning cable. I wish they would have gone with USB Type-C. It's just more universal. I've only got one cable to charge this. I've got two chargers, wireless, to charge it as well, but only one cable that is, the proprietary cable for an iPhone, which can be a little annoying when you're stumbling around trying to charge your device, or if you're at work, you got to take your cable with you to charge it. Again, not a deal breaker, but it is something to think about. Another thing is Apple keyboard. I really don't like the Apple keyboard on here. As you can see right there, you could switch it. This is the Apple keyboard. Sure, there's swipe, on there, but it's really, not my cup of tea. As far as typing, I prefer Swift key, so I went ahead and did Swift key on here, so that way I could get my little number row on top. And I definitely like Swift key better on iOS than on Android. It's just a lot cleaner and smoother on here, so that is a plus, that you could use a different keyboard on here. They also have Gboard, but I didn't like the way that was looking on iOS, so I went ahead and just went with Swift key on there. But yeah, definitely an Apple keyboard. Download another keyboard and you'll be happy. No always on display. So when you lock the device, there is no always on display on here. You could tap to wake, your phone, but there is no always on display. It is an LCD panel, so I understand that, but it would be nice, to have an always on display. I don't know if the iPhone Pros or the Macs have it or not, but this one does not have always on display. LCD panel, it does have an LCD panel with a resolution of like 824 or something. So it's a really low resolution. You don't notice it unless you're holding it up against like a OnePlus 7 Pro or a Samsung phone. But it's still a really good panel. Don't get me wrong. I just wish they would have went with a higher resolution, or at least a 90 hertz display. This is a 60 hertz display, and it still looks really good when you're watching videos. Of course, everything is going to cap out at 1080p, but it is what it is. It's still a really good display for the device. I'm impressed by it. Sure, it's a lower resolution, and I do notice it just because I'm a tech junkie. But for most people out there, you're not going to notice a difference, and you're going to be completely happy. Another thing is it still comes with a 5-watt charger in the box, and this is only the iPhone 11. 5-watt charger in the box. Sucks. Not using it. I'm using a Samsung charger brick to charge this with the cable. Why couldn't they included a normal, a higher wattage charging brick for the iPhone 11? They did it for the Pro and the Pro Max, but not the iPhone 11. Come on, Apple, get with it. So yeah, those are the reasons. I believe there are like 10 reasons for each of why I don't like the iPhone 11. But like I said, they're not deal breakers by any means. It's just me being picky. So with that being said, so let's go ahead and go down to the reasons I do like it. The reasons I do like this device is the cameras. They are really, really good on here. You got two 12 megapixel cameras on the back, one wide, one ultra wide. The ultra wide has a field of view about 120 degrees. Really, really nice 4K video shooting. The front facing camera is a 12 megapixel as well, and you do have 4K video recording. There I am right there shooting on the OnePlus 7 Pro. So that is a really, really nice feature. The OnePlus 7 Pro doesn't even have 4K on the front facing camera. This takes excellent shots. I'm going to go ahead and play some videos for you that I shot using this device. Of course, there's going to be pictures flashing of pictures that I've taken with the iPhone 11 just to show you guys exactly how it looks. But yeah, the camera quality on here is absolutely amazing. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this, was to try iOS, and because of these cameras, they definitely stepped it up a little bit. Night mode on here is also very, very, very good. Right up there with the Pixels, as far as night mode goes. Definitely better than Samsung a little bit. OnePlus has improved, but the night mode on the iPhone 11 is really, really good. So let me go ahead and play some videos that I shot with this. You're going to be seeing some pictures and whatnot flash on your screen of stuff that I've taken on there. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around. Alright, this is the iPhone 11, 4K 60 frames per second. Check out all the ducks. There are a lot of them. iPhone 11, 4K 60 frames per second. Let me know what you guys think of the quality. Ultra wide. You can switch between the two. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed those. Really, really good camera. You won't have any complaints when you're shooting video on here is just excellent. Slow motion video is really good, especially for the slow fees is what Apple is calling them, for the front facing camera, which is kind of dumb. Just slow motion video, that's all it is. Camera app is very intuitive. You want to record, you just hold down. You can slide on over to start recording. You can stop recording. If you want to take like Snapchat like recordings, you just hold down on it and it'll start recording. Really good camera app. You have all your night mode that will kick in automatically over here ever since it's dark, and it'll all adjust the I guess the ISO or the exposure rate or whatever the fuck it is on that. So you got a lot of options. Really good camera app. Kind of wish the settings were in the camera app and not in the actual settings for the device, you know, but that's just how it is, I guess. With iOS, the camera settings are actually over here in the actual settings for the camera. As you can see right here, you have all your different settings right here. Slow motion video, recording, you have all your different options for recording video, 24, 30, 60. Slow motion, you get 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second. Stereo sound, formats, you can change your formats, high efficiency, most compatible, stuff like that. So really nice camera. No complaints here. Excellent camera systems. I guess Apple's catching up with everybody finally. Another reason why I do like it is the build quality. This phone just feels excellent in the hands. When I first picked this phone up, I was like, wow, this thing has some heft to it. It is really nice. The design, I think, is beautiful. The camera bumps, I really don't, I like them. I don't see what the big deal is about. It looks different. I like how this frosted bump is still a part of the glass, and it's just a really nice looking phone. The Apple logo is now in center, as opposed to last year it was a little bit higher up. The buttons are in a perfect spot. Really responsive buttons. Volume buttons are in a perfect spot as well. You got your slider, mute slider right here. Build quality is just really great. Apparently this is the strongest glass on a smartphone today, Apple is saying. Very hard to break. Of course, I'm not going to test that. You got your aluminum frame, speaker at the bottom, power button. There are no mics going around the frame. You got your volume rockers, chargers, and then your camera system on the back, product red logo on the bottom. So really nice design as far as build quality goes. I'm very pleased with this build quality on this phone, and I'm all about how phones look and feel and their design. So you do get a little bit of a wobble if you're typing on a flat surface, but of course the case will take care of that. Apps on here, another reason why I like it, apps in here are very polished. Facebook app, everything is down at the bottom for navigating. It's just really all their apps on here are very polished. Snapchat is polished. Chrome, I even like Chrome as far as how everything looks. Everything is at the bottom. You got all your pages right there. You could add a page. It's just really nice. I really like Chrome on iOS better than I do on Android. Their apps are really nice and polished for iOS than they are for Android, which is crazy. I like the Gmail app, all the Google apps. I like them a lot on iOS, so they're really nice polished apps for iOS. Battery life on here, it's a 3400 milliamp hour battery, I believe, maybe a little bit higher, but battery life has been pretty good for me. Gets me through a night at work. I still got like 50% left after an 8-hour night or 8-hour day at work. Battery life is great on here, no complaints. Really nice battery life. Apparently it's got an hour more than the iPhone XR of last year. Speaker quality on here is excellent. If you guys haven't seen my video, the speaker comparison between this and the S10, go check it out. Really excellent speakers. It supports Dolby Atmos. They sound loud, they sound crisp and clear. They sort of give that, surround sound effect as well. Animojis on here as well are really cool. I know it's really not that much of a thing, but I really enjoy the animojis. Of course my wife does too. You have a whole bunch of different ones. Let's see if I could go to look for them real quick without exposing any private information, of course. So yeah, you got your animojis on here, really nice animojis, and you got your memoji, I guess, too, to where you could create your memoji, and you can use that as well. So really cool. Like a little fun thing to do. Samsung tried doing it, but I think Apple always did that the best. Your little mute slider is definitely cool too. You can slide it up to silent your phone, sort of like what the OnePlus has, except this is only 2 stages. OnePlus has off, vibrate, and silence. This one just has silent, on and off, so really cool. I like the little animation and the bell on there as well. Really nice, really polished. I really like the mute slider. It helps out a lot when you want to silence your phone really quick. The gestures, navigation on here are really cool as well. If you want to get all your apps, you just swipe through them. Swipe up to go home. A lot of apps like YouTube, to swipe on over, you could do that. So if I want to click a video, you just swipe on over to the next video, swipe down to bring it out, and it's just really cool, the swiping gestures. I'm still getting used to them. A lot of swiping up, swiping down. Their gesture system is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm used to Android's gesture system, especially on the OnePlus, the new one from Android 10, but their gesture system on here is pretty cool. Utilities like the apps that come preloaded on here, like the measuring app is pretty cool. You could point a picture at something and you can measure exactly how far it is from point to point, and it'll actually measure for you. And then you go to the other point, and that's pretty cool, to where it'll give you a little VR type thing of measuring anything on your device. So that's really nice. I enjoy that. It's got a compass on here as well. Well, that's Safari, but it's got a compass, which also works pretty cool. Samsung had this too as well. I'm pretty sure you could get a compass on any Android device anyways, but all of this stuff comes preloaded on here, and it's really nice. All the features on here for the iPhone. I really like those utility apps for this. Performance wise, A13 Bionic chip. I really don't know much about this chip. I'm used to Snapdragon chips, but it is really fast and really fluid. The only thing I could say is this phone does heat up when you're using the camera a lot, especially if you're outside, but it's really not that much of a deal breaker. It will cool down quick. It is getting a little warm now, but not really too bad. 4 gigabytes of RAM. I know you may say that's not a lot, but apparently Apple could do it. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're killing it. 4 gigabytes of RAM to run this really fast on the A13 Bionic chip. If you put 4 gigabytes of RAM on a Samsung phone, that phone will be absolute shit. It will not run like this runs. It's just amazing. I don't know how Apple does it, but they do it, and it is really good and really fast. This phone have not had any hiccups, no lag, no nothing. This phone is performing like a champ. So those are the 10 reasons why I don't like the iPhone, 10 reasons why I do like the iPhone 11. Hope you enjoyed this video. I've been using this phone. My SIM card is going to be in here for a while, and I'm going to continue using it. My wife is going to try using an iPhone 11 as well. So far I'm really liking it. FaceTime is really cool on here. We FaceTime for a while on there too. With my sister-in-law, it was pretty cool. So with that being said, guys, this has been my experience with the iPhone 11. Hope this gives you an idea if you want to switch on over from Android to iOS. For me, I'm not going to do it completely. I'm still going to be, Android user. I'm still going to have a main Android phone, but this is going to be a side phone for me. So hope you guys enjoyed. Give me a thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell for future notifications on my videos. Peace.